Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome back. If you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I'm Carolee, and I help to bring you clarity through life's toughest challenges and greatest joys. This week, we're starting a new project, I guess you could say. Every week, I want to bring you messages of healing for the next 7 days. What do you need to focus on in terms of your healing journey for this next week ahead? And I'll be doing this reading every single week for you. I'm really excited about it because my channel is about helping you resolve and heal trauma so that you can align with your true self, so that you can attract and manifest and bring into your life all the good things that you truly actually deserve and everything that you wanted coming into this life. I feel called to guide you through this healing journey in this way and have a conversation with you, be the conduit of a conversation between you and spirit, between you and your spirit guides, maybe even your higher self as well, to help you heal so you can align, so that you can attract and become the person that you were always meant to be before you were conditioned by this human experience here. Okay, I'll show you an overhead picture of the 3 piles that I have, but I'll show you the cards as we're chatting right now. So pile number 1 is number 36, the Ancients. This is the beautiful Earthcraft Oracle deck. I love it. The imagery is beautiful, stunning. Pile number 2 is number 15, Karmic Debt. And pile number 3 is number 30, Spirit of the East. I will show you an overhead shot of these images. Take your time, pause the video if you need to, take a deep breath, relax, and when you're ready, you can click on your pile in the description box below. The timestamp will be there for you. Namaste. I feel so much nervous energy with your pile number 1. I think with the Ancients, you chose card number 36, Ancients, or the Ancients. There's a lot of guides around you. Gosh, you know what it is, what I'm picking up right away is your guides are, they're so excited. You know, it's like they're showing me a football game or a sports game. I'm not all that sporty, but they're showing me a game, like some sort of sporting event, and it's like your guides, like you're playing and your guides are all in the stands just like so excited, nervous, cheering you on. And you know, sometimes you fumble the ball. They're showing me like fumbling the ball, but like in that moment of perfect alignment, you score this touchdown, I guess football or a goal or whatever. And they're just like, yes, they're so excited, you know? Because there's a point they're saying that like they can guide you and be there for you, but there's this also where they, like a parent and a child, they kind of have to let you figure it out, let you go with the flow. They have to let you, like, release you a little bit so that you can do and achieve and sort of follow through with the mission or the segment in your life, right? What is that? It almost looks like Christmas lights. I don't know. Take a look at close into the heart. You can see it. It at first I thought, oh, it's a deer. Because it kind of has antlers, but then it also looks like a Christmas heart. It also could look like a heart that's been broken but then stitched back together. Take that as it resonates. There is a deer also in the picture. Deer could be one of your spirit guides or your spirit animal. There's a wolf, a crow. There's a wolf's mate for life. I'm not sure about deers and crows. Crows definitely hunt with their family. I'm not sure if they mate for life. They might. I think they do. But I know that they hunt with family, and as like hawks do as well. They're very social animals. And they'll even have like a coven and then like several, is the coven the right word? Families that join together in their hunting, and they're very social animals, social birds. Take that as it resonates. So the next week in your healing journey, your guides want you to know that first of all, the most important message I think for you this week is that your guides are with you, guiding you. What you're imagining, what you're visualizing, what maybe you see, maybe what you're dreaming about, they are giving you these dreams or helping you along with their dreams. See how this figure's the eyes are closed, they're dreaming and visualizing with you. They hear your call with the wolf howling towards them as well. They do hear you, and they're here to support you every step of the way, whether you fumble, whether you score a goal, in good times and bad times. They want you to know that they are here. And I also have a feeling that you are very wise and ancient and old soul. These are also friends that, not only guides, but also friends that you've collected throughout the lives that you've had on this plane. If you look at the sun here, the sun in the background, there's all these different segments, right? It's almost like the trips around the sun, or the trips around lives almost around the earth. Because this wheel, the sun in the background, is almost making me think of like the earth as well. So this is like trips around the earth, because of the orange, or the purple and green ring around the center. The center of the earth is like lava, so it just reminds me of that. And the purple is this sort of like with the swirly things there. It's just like your connection with the divine, with the spirit world, with the 5D, and being sent here many different lives, maybe even to become a healer, maybe even to become a guide yourself. Because these guides around you, they're giving me friendship vibes. Take that as it resonates again. Like, you're very connected to the spirit world. You're also very connected to Gaia and Mother Earth and the animals here. You might draw animals and the natural world towards you very easily. But look at this heart as well in the very center of the figure meditating there. It's not complete. It's been broken. It's been stitched back up, but not completely shattered. Some images of a broken heart, the heart is shattered or completely split in half, but this one's not. It's been mended. It's been broken, and it is actually healing, because it's not entirely broken. It has been mended, and it's almost as if, yes, there's a bit of scar tissue there, but it has healed significantly. Or if you're thinking about, or maybe you have done a lot of the healing work already, and that you're on the right track. I feel like you are on the right track. This figure is very calm, in this meditative posture, poised, feeling serene, connected. The number 36 comes to 9. 6 and 3 is 9. So endings can be really important to you. The number 36 might be important to you. Maybe you are 36, or maybe something significant happened around the age of 36. But the number 9 is coming through very strongly. And the 9 is about letting things go, and not so much, I want to say endings, but it's not so much as like a 10 where it's just an abrupt ending. It's more of a transitioning, from going from one phase to the next phase, and you're sort of maybe in this limbo of waiting for the next cycle to begin, or the next segment of your life. That could be very important for you right now. But the spirit world is watching you. They're impressed, they're saying. They're very impressed with everything that you've done so far. So that's interesting. Let's pull out some tarot cards. Oh. It didn't even let me shuffle. Okay, I'm going to shuffle because that was not... They're saying a breakthrough is at hand. I just saw the sword, the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords. A lot of cards just fell out there, but I don't want to take them all. But the Ace of Swords seems very important. So you're in the midst of a breakthrough in terms of your healing journey, of releasing, they're saying, releasing, letting things go, moving from one segment to the next. They're saying patiently waiting as well. You've been waiting very patiently for this next phase to begin. But the important thing is that you've been going through, they're saying, so many trials and tribulations, so much. And in the last few years, you have grown exponentially on the spiritual journey, in your resilience, in your strength, in your ability to sort of sit and be calm and strong and peaceful through really challenging times. It's almost as if nothing in the future, maybe you might not feel it right this minute, but in the future, nothing will faze you. It's almost as if nothing can faze you anymore. And you are leveling up to become this spirit guide in your the next phase of your soul's journey. Oh my gosh, okay. This deck is beautiful. The Tarot of, what is it? The Tarot of the Divine. I don't use it very often, but I was really called to use it for today. I don't know if you've seen this one. It's so, the artwork is beautiful. I don't know, I haven't studied this deck because there's each card has a fairy tale or folklore stories behind them. I don't love it when tarot readers read the deck, but what I might do is, in the description box, if you're interested, mention sort of the primary story that comes out. I don't know. We'll see if I end up doing that. If I don't, because I haven't quite decided yet, if I don't, then take a look at the guidebook if you have this deck, or if you're interested. Actually, you know what I'll do is maybe flip to it and mention it, and then, yeah, I think it's important. So that's why I was called to use this deck, because through folklore, through stories about divinity and the deities, and our understanding of religion, or why we created religion in the first place, is to help us understand our lives, our purpose here. So I think that the stories in this deck are very important. Maybe not every card that I pull, but I'll do maybe 3 cards. I didn't have this planned out, you guys. I knew what I wanted to talk about, but not like I usually let spirit just sort of let me flow with their messages, but I want to be a little more systematic for you. Anyway, that's my own stuff. I will give you the top 3 stories, these 3 cards that come out. I'll put a link to it, or mention the story for each card, and then you can go look it up if you feel called to. So we have number 2, the High Priestess. Oh, and 11:11 on the timer right there. Whoo! As I was gibbering on, and then that happens. Wow. Okay. 6 of Swords. Oh! Sorry, I just saw the next card, and I'm just so excited for you guys. 6 of Swords. Wow. Oh, what's this? And then the Ace of Coins. Amazing. I feel so calm. Like there was a lot of nervous energy, but it was more like nervous, like I was saying, the game, and that your guides being so excited watching you, watching everything that you're doing because they're so impressed with how far you've come and that you've made the most out of everything that you've gone through in this life. Like you have really done a great job. They want you to know. This is such a powerful message for group number 1. Okay, so the High Priestess, number 2. Let's go to the guidebook and just quickly, I'm going to read the whole thing. I can't pronounce all of these words. Scheherazade. Let me know if I'm saying that right. Turkey, Arabic folktale. The High Priestess is a keeper of vast knowledge with a story for every situation. Scheherazade asks the listener to focus on what their subconscious tells them, encouraging them to form their own conclusions. Her power is vast, yet subtle. Her answers always mysterious. Interesting. She's holding the veil slightly over her face, thus the mystery, and reading a book. Very calm, very intuitive, very connected to the divine. I would also say, with the moon over her head, which is traditional in the High Priestess card, there's something about not being afraid of her shadows here. Fully integrating her shadow self. There's a lot of balance going on here with the 2 lanterns, the light flanking the moon at the very center. And I just saw 333 or 1333 on the clock. Expansion through trials and tribulations, through doing a lot of the shadow work. I mean, this reading is just like a congratulations, you've done it. You've done so much work on yourself, integrating, making friends with your shadow, not being afraid of it anymore, using it even to your advantage, and feeling very at peace, very at ease. And again, we have these 2 cards with these figures feeling incredibly relaxed in this present moment. With all this stuff maybe going on within them and outside, we don't really see the chaos around. I'm just being extremely focused within. And again, is sort of becoming of a guide, learning to become a guide as well, guiding other people through their own trials and tribulations, people coming to you for, Spirit saying service, but I wanted to say help or assistance, because they know that you've been through it already and they can trust you. There's a lot of trust happening, I feel. You've learned to trust your guides. You've learned to trust your inner self through everything that you've been through. And I feel like some of you coming here might doubt this. You might doubt your own abilities, might doubt the process a little bit. It's like you're on the cusp of trusting the divine and the purpose of everything that you've been through. You know it, maybe intellectually, with the High Priestess holding the book there. You might know it intellectually, but are on the verge of really fully embracing it and trusting in the journey with the 6 of Swords here. I think this is the way that this is laid out. So we have the High Priestess followed by the 6 of Swords. You're moving away from not fully trusting to complete faith in divinity, with the Ace of Pentacles coming up at the end there. Moving away from learning, being the apprentice, even though the High Priestess is not an apprentice, but it's almost like there's still things that are shrouded in mystery here for you, like not completely knowing. So it's also about trust and faith, but also about not completely knowing why you went through everything that you went through, not completely understanding the purpose of all of this, to moving away from the mystery to the complete manifestation of your dreams, your goals, a manifestation, perhaps, to feeling like the pain is no longer able to control you and that you are now in complete control of yourself and your destiny. That's a very strong and powerful message. You're on the cusp. If you're not there already, if you don't feel it already, you're on the cusp of that. Oh, I want to go through the other stories. Okay, so the Six of Swords. Oh, I want to show you the bottom of the deck too. I think it was the page. Oh no, I shuffled again. I think it was the Page of Cups that was at the bottom of the deck once I pulled these cards, and right now it's Judgment. But the Page of Cups was there. I won't go through those stories, but I'll go through the top 3 stories that came out here. Six of Swords. Okay, Danae and Perseus. Greek mythology. Six of Swords represents leaving behind tumultuous waters for a future that is calm and promising. After being imprisoned by her own father, Danae, I feel like I'm not pronouncing that right, but Danae and her young son Perseus escape. Perseus will eventually grow to defeat the Gorgon Medusa. Ooh. Okay, so I think that that's a big clue for you here. Is what you went through was for a purpose, was for a reason, because it gave you the whatever it is that you needed, the skills, the insight, the awareness, the strength, the resilience to be able to be successful in a major mission here on this planet. So we have the ancients and we have your spirit guides that are very heavily involved. And I don't feel that they're just any spirit guides. They're very wise ancient spirit guides. And you have a lot of them. And the natural spirit world, the animal spirits are around you as well. So you have a lot of these beings rooting for you. Because you have an incredible mission to fulfill here. Everybody's going to be different. But even the idea that, so Danae and her young son Perseus escape. Perseus will eventually grow to defeat the Gorgon Medusa. So it could even be, because we have Danae and her son Perseus in this card, it could be that if you identify, or not identify, but if you have a child, everything that you've done, everything that you've trained for, all the information, the wisdom that you've gained in this life could be passed on to your children, and it's a generational, instead of a generational curse, breaking generational curses and creating generational success with the Ace of Coins here. That could be an important message for you, where everything that you've learned is now being passed on to your future generations, and you're going to be able to help them break curses, help them shift and change the world. That could be something that's very important, because it's not, your mission could be about teaching and training and protecting your children, the next generation. Take it as it resonates. Or it could be you, right? This could also be, if it resonates, that maybe your parents were the High Priestess card and you are now Perseus, who are off to fight this battle. But there is something about destiny unfolding, and everything that you've gone through before is a part of this mission that you've been brought here to undertake. And you and your family, I feel, are a very big, important part of what's happening or what's to come. But at the end of the day, with the Ace of Pentacles, it is about success for you and your family. Now, I know the Ten of Pentacles isn't there, but this is about ultimate success, for everybody involved. Whatever it is that you've been praying for, there is success at the very end of this. I think in regards to the next week, the next 7 days in your healing journey, because we are trying to look at the next 7 days, I think this message has a lot to do with faith in yourself, faith in the divine, faith that you have accumulated all of the knowledge and wisdom that you need. You have looked underneath the cloak of the darkness and you're no longer afraid anymore. They're showing me, I keep seeing this vision recently of Home Alone, you know, when he goes down to the basement and initially he's really afraid of that furnace and his mind's playing tricks on him and it's like this evil monster, evil furnace monster. And then he's, you know, at first he's afraid and then the next time he goes down and he's like, I'm not afraid anymore, right? Or no, he says that to the old man outside, but I'm just like looking, they're showing the audio message is like, I'm not afraid anymore. Did you hear me? I'm not afraid anymore. But then still being a little bit afraid. But then they're showing me when he goes down to the basement with his laundry and he's looking, you know, and the thing starts to go, rah, it starts to growl at him. And then he's like, shut up. Sorry. He's like, you know, shut up. And then the thing stops and he's not afraid anymore because he's worked through that fear. And you have worked through a lot of that fear. You are in control of your darkness. That doesn't mean darkness doesn't exist. That doesn't mean the pain isn't ever going to come up or bubble up to the surface, but you're able to look at it and face it and understand it, process it, and move through it with the Six of Swords here successfully in the moment with the Ace of Pentacles or the Ace of Coins is a lot about new opportunities, success, the materialization of your dreams, of your thoughts, being able to successfully process things in the here and now, in this moment, in this 3D plane. So I think that by the end of the week, something is going to manifest or something very powerful. It could be a realization, but with the Ace of Coins, it's more about something manifesting in the 3D, really moving away from the darkness and coming into the light, moving away from the unknown, and finally something is known to you. Let's just clarify. I'm going to use the Muse Tarot. I'm so excited to be doing these like face-to-face videos. I think it's nice. Okay. I want to pull one more, but we have the Magician at the bottom of the deck right now, because I think that's very important. What's the saying? As above, so below? Something is definitely manifesting for you in the 3D. They're saying resolution, maybe a resolution to a conflict of some kind. Like something you became aware of something. It's going to be different for everybody. So I'll look at these cards. We have the Seven of Materials or Seven of Pentacles, which is often about doing the work, but not just doing the work, kind of taking a break from doing the work, taking stock of everything that you have done up until this point, being really proud of yourself, I'm seeing as well. Spending some time in reflection about, okay, this is where I'm at right now, but this is actually where I want to go. Have you been on the right path? I think is also an important question, because sometimes we can get caught up in the material world and our 3D existence and experiences that we forget, yes, that I really actually want to shift directions and go that way, or I really want to manifest this. This is more important to me right now. I want to prioritize this instead. I want to prioritize this experience now, this phase of my healing, this phase of my journey. And then so we have the Seven of Materials followed by this Sun card, which is the masculine card, divine masculine card, but also positivity, following the sun. It's coming underneath of the Six of Swords. So following the light, heading towards the light, seeing clearly. I think because it's underneath the Six of Swords, it's seeing clearly where you're going now. like really seeing what it is that you want, really knowing, okay, I know what I'm here to do and I know what I want, and I'm going to follow the light to get there without that fear, without those doubts. Oh my gosh. Okay, so shuffling, and I showed you the Magician at the end of, at the bottom of the deck, and then the Magician came out for the last card here under the Ace of Coins. So you're definitely manifesting something into your 3D world right now. And again, it's going to be different for everybody. Oh my God, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Materials or Ace of Pentacles. So definitely, oh, my hair's attached to that. So you're definitely manifesting, materializing something. I know this is a message about your healing journey over the next 7 days, but I think that what this is saying is that you have done so much healing and you are moving into an aligned state. You are in alignment. I'm going to say you are in alignment with the Six of Swords. After all the information and all of the awareness that you've collected, you are in alignment, or you're moving towards alignment, and you're really hyper focused on it with the Sun card there as well. Nothing is hidden anymore. There's nothing hidden. It's like, I get it. I get it now. And now you know where you want to go. And because you have this sharper focus and intention on what it is that you want, it's definitely manifesting for you. Like Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles, twice, coming up twice, and the Magician card coming out twice. It's something big is shifting, something big is happening right now in the next 7 days for you. You know, I want to ask, oh, I didn't do hold on, the Ace of Coins in this deck, I didn't do the story, so let me quickly do that for you before we get maybe some clarity or some advice for you. Okay, Ace of Coins, what am I doing here? Ace of Coins, Jack and the Beanstalk, England, English fairy tale. The Ace of Coins presents us with new beginnings, financial opportunities, and prosperity. The origin of this gift may be unexpected, like magical beans, but through nourishment and support, the benefits could be miraculous. It's time to make dreams a reality. I feel called to, it says the keywords or phrases: new business, money, investments, abundance, security. For many of you, it's unexpected money, unexpected blessings in terms of finances, unexpected abundance. But I don't think that it's so unexpected. I just think that the means in which it arrives in your life might be unexpected. Because we have the Magician, the Sun, the Six of Swords. It's almost like you knew where you were going. You had this focus on what it is that you wanted. But then the way it comes into your life is so unexpected. And I think that Spirit is saying right now, make room for the unexpected. You know, it's not, I don't think it's going to happen the way that you expect it to, whatever it is that you are really focusing on. So Spirit, any more messages about pile number one's healing journey, or their journey, I guess, in the next 7 days? What do they need to know about the next 7 days and their healing journey? Anything else, Spirit? No, they're saying like that's it. The cards seem very like resistant to any more messages. Again, Six of Voices here, so the Six of Swords again. Oh my God, you've had so many clarifiers or confirmations of the same cards. Page of Emotions, again, it was at the bottom of the deck before, and Six of Inspiration. No, it's like recognition. And I think this is from your guides. It's recognition of a job well done, they're saying. All the healing that you've already done with the Page of Emotions. You know, you've done so much healing work already. Now is the time for all of the blessings, the opportunities, the things that you've been working for to come in. This is one of the most positive readings I've ever read. And then you have the Six of Inspiration, or the Six of Wands in this deck. And then I don't know if I can get this thing to focus on all of the the figures here and the dresses, and these are all your guides, just again watching you, celebrating you. You are the star, you are the light. This recognition of how far you've come, all the work that you've done. And it's almost as if, you know, when you see people that overnight success, but it wasn't overnight, they've had to do so much work, even if it wasn't mundane physical work on like a project or something. It was just like, it seems like it's overnight success, but it's actually, you've done so much of your own internal healing work and awareness, and making friends with the devil, they're saying, but making friends with your shadow, that nothing scares you anymore and you're not afraid anymore. And so now everything is just possible. The world is full of possibilities now because there is no more fear, no more worry. Nothing is in the dark because there's always light. Like you always see the light, even when there is darkness. You always see the possibilities in this moment, because you've been through so much. I know that there's going to be a bunch of people watching this, so it's not going to be specific in terms of what exactly is manifesting. Spirit, oh, they're so sassy. Okay, so I was going to ask what exactly is manifesting, and I know there's different people, so they're just like, it's a surprise with the Four of, actually the Four of Emotions. So the Four of Cups came in. Can be about feeling unworthy, but it can also be, I think, about, in a positive way, about surprises, or something unexpected. I'm thinking of the Encanto song. What's her name? The sister that makes the flowers. Isabella. I just made something unexpected, something sharp, something new. What else can I do? Yeah, it's so, oh my God, it's one of my favorite songs in the whole movie. So we have, can you tell I'm a mother and I have kids and I'm just like Disney, you know, referring to all these Disney songs. So actually, did it go, like, how's the video going to show it? So this popped into the middle of the deck with the Queen of Pentacles. So I think it's a surprise, but it's something that like will add significant value to your life. And I do think it's monetary, or some sort of abundance in that way. Because we have the Pentacles coming up quite a bit, the Queen of Materials, feeling really secure, feeling nourished, feeling like you are finally taken care of. And it's going to come to you in a surprising way. And I think it's going to be when you least expect it too. Like maybe you'll have a moment of doubt and fear and you'll shake it off. I'm seeing like you'll have this moment of doubt and fear and then shake it off like a dog, like the way a dog kind of shakes off the water. And then it'll pop in. You're like, no, cancel that, cancel that thought. I'm going to refocus. And you're able to do that really fast now, whereas before maybe you would ruminate in the pain and not having enough, or not receiving what it is that you want right away, or things taking really long. Like maybe you were at that point before, and now you're like, no, I can refocus. No, I can refocus. And the faster you're able to refocus your energy, the easier it is to manifest what it is that you're looking for. And that takes time to get there. Abraham Hicks talks about like you can't get there from there or from here. You can't get to full alignment when you're still clouded with the conditioning of your human experiences, and that's not your fault. I don't like the idea of you manifest everything that's in your vortex because of your thoughts and whatever, because we've been fated to live through so much tragedy, especially if you're attracted to my channel and you've been through a lot of trauma and you've been through a lot of pain, and the spiritual community can gaslight you. And it's like, it's your fault that you're still attracting all of this BS, all of this drama, all this toxic energy towards you. And yes, there's this compulsive reenactment going on because you went through something that conditioned your body mind to behave and act and think in a certain way, but you've done a lot of the work to sort of release that energy and move into a different state of being. You've done a lot of that work. And when you've done a lot of that work, now you're able to create quickly, more efficiently. You believe in yourself a lot more, and that takes time. And again, it's not your fault of what you went through. And this is a message maybe for a different pile, because it just irks me. It irks me, and it's such gaslighting, spiritual gaslighting to the trauma community. It just, yeah, sorry, it just bothers me. And they're just confirming. I don't know why I pulled these cards. They just came out. Whoops. Spirit. This fell onto the floor. So 3 of Swords, letting that go. I almost want to throw it away. Psh, let's throw that away. All that trauma, all that pain. Let it go. Let it go. 3 of Wands. Things are shifting. The dominoes have already started falling in your favor. And then just like hold on to that hope. You're so strong. You're so resilient. That's kind of a final message here. And it's kind of about, I think, manifesting, waiting, following your divine inspiration. Keep visualizing. Keep, you know, hold on to that vision of what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you want. I'm not going to go into the, the Akashic records of what your mission is here. Maybe I'll do another video of that soon, because I feel like that's really important for a lot of you. Like, what exactly is your mission here? Because there's so much change going on in the world. But just know that you're on the right path and you've done a lot of work, and your spirit guides are so, so proud of you, just celebrating you. And what you want. I think in the next 7 days, you're going to see evidence of the materialization of your manifestation. And I think it's a full, like the full thing. With the Ace of Pentacles there and the Magician under it. It's like there's definitely evidence, or the big thing that you wanted. Oh, again, oh my God, Spirit. Queen of Materials again for you guys. And then at the bottom of the deck is the 8 of Materials. So you've done all the work. You've done everything that you need to do in order to bring this into your reality. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of staying strong and waiting and not losing focus. Okay. So that's your main message for the next 7 days, your healing journey right now. So proud of you. So proud of you, pal number 1. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following me. If you're not already following, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like the video, if it resonated, comment, like it, and help me reach more people by teaching the algorithm that the messages here are important for the masses. All right. Thank you so much. Again, so much love to you. And I look forward to reading for you next time. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. Clearing the energy from pile number 1. Not that it was bad, it was very good, but I think that this pile number 2, you have a heavier energy. There's a little bit more, I don't want to use that word, Spirit. They're saying drudgery, but I don't want to get caught up in that energy. So, but they want me to acknowledge it. They want me to acknowledge that you are in the middle of, they want you, I'm having a hard time getting the words out, but in the middle of a spiritual war within your heart, within your soul, within yourself, within your life. Okay, I'm not going to do those yet. So you chose pile number 15, karmic debt. So 1 and 5 comes to 6, which is a lot about your thoughts, thoughts becoming reality. There's a lot of impatience here as well. Impatience. They're saying holding on for dear life. Like, when is this gonna end? But at the same time, this figure is nurturing herself. I'm saying her because she looks feminine. It's a very feminine card. The colors, the energy, the movement. feeling open to receive, like needing to feel open to receive, but not necessarily feeling safe to do so, with her arms being crossed across her chest, protecting herself. But there's so much nourishing. She's intentionally surrounding herself with nourishing, with water, nature. This, like geodes even, they're saying, like rocks or crystals, flowers. Maybe spending a lot of time in nature, in the bath, flowing in a river. But there's so much pain in her heart. There's so much pain in your heart. And I want you to take a minute. This is my right hand. Put your left hand over your heart. Maybe your right hand on top of it. And just for a second, from my heart to yours, I want to send you some love. And I want you to, if you feel called to, if you feel open to it, please just take a minute, close your eyes, and feel the love coming from me to you. You are so worthy. And what happened isn't your fault. It's not your fault. And allow the tears to fall. Let yourself cry when you need to, or create some space to focus on releasing and healing. Crying is very nourishing. It's cleansing for your soul, cleansing for your body, mind. It helps you to release that pent-up stored energy. Okay. I want to give you a big hug, pile number 2. So I think that your main message for the next 7 days, what's happening for on your healing journey for the next 7 days, is allowing yourself the space and time to grieve, to heal, to release, to cry, to nourish yourself. I'm seeing taking a bath, but they're saying cool water. So I feel as though maybe your energy is running very hot right now. So cold water is important, splashing it on your face even, skinny dipping if you live somewhere where you can do that. Yeah, there's so much tension in your body. It's important for you for this next week to focus on releasing that tension with intention. Surrounding yourself with these very soft and healing colors, the greens, the blues, teals, purples, violets. Being in nature is really important for you as well. She even has, her fingernails and lips are violet even. So wearing violet, connecting to your higher self, really, this is giving me hermit vibes as well. Oh, that's too many cards, Spirit. No. I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Tarot of the Divine deck. Let me show you the box. And like I did for pile number 1, I just saw 555 on the timer. So big changes are happening. But there's something about changes happening, but because you intended them to happen, because you're no longer accepting what was and you want something new, but maybe in this moment you're not exactly sure what that is, and there is this need to feel the pain, to grieve, to feel the loss, to feel the sorrow, to work through those emotions, to allow yourself the space and time to feel these things that you've perhaps never allowed yourself to feel before. Also, your throat chakra needs some cleansing as well. There's something that you want to say. You've been holding back. Again, with this figure, her arms are across her chest. Just holding it in, holding it back. But it needs to flow. It needs to. If you hold in the things that you want to say, the feelings that you've never allowed yourself to feel or never wanted to express, they can manifest in as disease or in other ways. That's a part of what lowers your vibrational frequency, is holding that in, creating unnecessary tension in your body. Now, is that your fault? No, because this is the way you've learned to cope, the way that you've learned to survive in this world, in your life. But it needs to be released in order for you to heal, in order for you to let go, in order for you to be able to feel strong and move forward. Okay, so with the Tarot of the Divine, they have, each card is connected to a fairy tale or a folklore. And I will pull 3 cards from this deck to get us an idea of what's going to be happening in the next week on your healing journey, or what you need to know. And then I will read, because it's a really short clip, and normally I don't like to read from the book too much, but there's a short clip of what it is that the folklore or the story that's connected to that card, and I think it's important. So, okay. I'm going to show you the cards in a second. I just want you to know, though, that whatever just happened, I feel like was fairly recently. It could have been, you know, a lot of trauma from the past, but this is like extremely painful for you, and I want to validate your emotions. What you're feeling is normal for the human body after experiencing what you've experienced. It's painful. It is physically painful. Even though it's emotionally overwhelming and painful, can be very physically painful as well. I'm feeling really shaky, and there's a lot of pain, a lot of tension in my body. The need, there's also this internalized shame from what happened. It could have been, some of you, it might be a distant past thing that you're working through. But there's this fear, this need to run away from this message. So if you're here and you're watching this and you feel triggered to go, that's okay if you need to go, but I encourage you to come back and watch the rest of this video when you're able to. I want to try to be as sensitive as possible while helping to guide you through this moment. Oh, these cards are falling onto the floor. Hold on one sec, you guys. That's an interesting. Okay. So, wow, it got really quiet in here all of a sudden. Your guides are like, your guides don't want me to focus too much on the pain from the past, because I do feel as though it can be triggering and can be very hard for you to relive that through a tarot reader. I don't want to do that to you. If you were drawn to pile number 2, you know what it is that I'm talking about, and I don't need to go in and rehash it. It's almost as if they don't want me to expose your truth to other people, even, because that's not for them to know. They're saying secrets. Like, it could be that secrets were kept and that's what's hurting you, but I don't want to go too much into the story of why you're in pain and why you're having this moment right now, because that's not the important part of this. Sorry, I didn't show you this, but the 3 of Swords came out, and take a minute to look at this card, because there's a lot going on here. There's a figure in the back, in the shadows, maybe being illuminated, but it also seems very insidious. This dark figure coming through in secret, kind of this manipulation, or maybe you found out a secret or something happened. There's lightning in the back. It's almost as if a realization happened, or definitely it's giving me Tower card vibes, but it's very it's almost as if the lightning illuminated the shadows. something came to light, perhaps. Maybe you found out a truth or realized a truth of something that happened to you, or that's something that's been happening to you or around you. But what she's doing with the sword to herself, to these feathers, clipping her wings, self-harming. And if this is something that you have gone through or you are going through, I encourage you to please talk to somebody. Please talk to somebody. It's important. It's really important. And I know that when you're in pain, if you have a history of self-harm, causing pain to yourself because you have internalized so much shame and you feel like such a bad person because of what happened, maybe not even understanding why. Maybe your brain has really worked hard to shut out things that had happened to you, but that pain comes out in this horrible way of hurting ourselves. And I have done that too. I have a history of self-harm, and sometimes, you know, your mind drifts to that as a way to find relief, because to somebody who has a lot of trauma, that pain can actually, or what you used it for initially without intending to do it, it was to regulate your nervous system, because your nervous system goes into this heightened sense, into your sympathetic nervous system, where you're hypervigilant and tense and reactive, impulsive, you know, like these things. And then that moment of that, the feeling of the pain cuts through that, the internal pain, the physical pain cuts through the emotional pain and helps to just re-stabilize you in a way. And that's scientifically true. And so there is no shame. It's actually biologically correct response for some people. Nobody really understands, you know, we can understand how it affects the brain and why somebody might be drawn to do that, how it does actually help to regulate the nervous system that is in the midst of an episode, right? Maybe even an emotional flashback. But it is harmful. So I think that it's really important for those of you who are going through that to seek help, to acknowledge that it's normal for your body mind to want to do that in order to seek balance and regulation, but it is harmful and it has more long-term harmful effects, which I think you know, but I do think that I want you to understand that the body is seeking regulation when that is happening. And there are other ways to seek regulation, to get back into balance. It takes, you know, time and practice, but I want you to know that you're not alone. And I have also struggled with that too. And so I really encourage you to look for somebody who can help you through these things, even if it is a friend or somebody, a support group or something that can help you, and so you don't feel so alone and isolated. Trauma can be very isolating. Okay, that's one message. But Spirit doesn't want me to focus too much on what happened, because you already know. We don't have to go down that road. What they do want me to show you are these next 3 cards, which is why they fell on the floor, to sort of distract me from this message of going too deep into that. But we have the Knight of Wands. Look at her grabbing that bull by its horns. Or it's not a bull. Is it a bull? I don't know. Something with a goat, maybe? Taking life into your own hands. 3 of Cups. Friends, support. I was just mentioning that. Friends, a support network. And then the Fool. This week, this next week is what's important for the next week for your healing journey is moving through this phase with intention. Focusing on something that you're passionate about, something that you really want, finding a creative outlet, using the anger. Like right now you're maybe caught in the grips of sadness and despair, but once you move through that, there's this aggression that might come out. You've been maybe turning that aggression inwards, but what Spirit wants you to know is it's time to put that into something different, into focusing that aggression, that energy, that anger, the impulses, into a drive to drive you forward into something else. And that will also take time, because they're showing me this like up and down sort of in those emotions of what has happened to you, and falling backwards into your dorsal vagal nervous system, right? That sort of fawn or collapse mode. Wanting to sort of hide away and hide under the covers and really nurture and take care of yourself, which there is a time for that, and you definitely need to focus on that as well this week. But then once that moment passes, once that in that moment that storm passes and you feel a little bit better, really engaging with that aggressive response. Dr. Peter Levine, in his work in somatic healing and processing, he talks about how a lot of the times he'll have his patients visualize this situation that had happened to them, and then instead of being the victim, being the survivor, being the aggressor. If you could have, in that moment when that thing was happening, if you could defend yourself, what would you do? And I think that this is about visualizing and really focusing on shifting the energy from a victim, or like the fawn mode, or feeling helpless, to feeling really powerful, and doing that with intention in your mind, replaying the scenario in your mind and focusing more on being the empowered person in that moment rather than a victim, taking control rather than allowing things to happen to you. And the more you replay a different scenario in your mind, the more you're actually able to reprogram your nervous system, but by retelling the story in a different way. It's proven that when you think about something that happened in the past, your memories can be transformed. So every time you bring up a certain experience from the past, the mood that you're in right now while remembering that experience from the past will color and shift and change that memory over time. So if you keep going back into what it was that you experienced with a different mindset, with a different energy, seeing how, seeing yourself as more of an empowered, I don't want to say aggressor, but how you maybe can overpower that situation, and then that memory will shift and change for you. That's something that you might work on with a therapist or a coach or somebody as well. But then there's also the Three of Cups here, and the Three of Cups talks about friendship, celebration, family, and I think here it's about finding a network, other people who understand and get you, people who have gone through it as well, a support group of some kind. That's really important for you to go and seek that. That's what Spirit is really asking you to do right now. And then at the end, we have the Fool card, which I've already shown you, but this is about like a brand new beginning, feeling as though there's hope in the world. After you meet these people, I think that that's really important for you right now, is looking for and finding that support group, those people, those friends that you can communicate with, that you can share. And some people say that, you don't necessarily like attracts like, or the people you surround yourself with, or what is it, you are the common denominator or whatever of the people you surround yourself with. But for trauma survivors, surrounding yourself with people who have been through similar things is actually very healing. People who can really validate you and see you for who you truly are, understand you, who can attune to you. They might not always be the people that you want to take with you for the rest of your journey, right? Depending on how they're doing on their own healing journey. But for right now, they can be extremely helpful in helping you feel like you're not alone, helping you feel like you're not worthless, helping you feel like less isolated, helping you feel as though there is hope in the world, and that especially if you've been alone and you've been hurt and you have a hard time trusting other people, this can help you rebuild trust. So let me read the stories quickly for these 3 cards. So first we'll look at the Knight of Wands. Tatterhood, Norway, Norwegian fairy tale. The Knight of Wands represents a fearless fighter eager to charge into battle, especially if it means defending someone she loves. Reckless and unafraid, Tatterhood grabs what she wants to claim the future she desires. Adventure, passion, a rebel, a flirt, a hot temper. Perhaps you've also experienced this rage, which is normal for trauma survivors or complex PTSD, this inner rage. And this can also symbolize the need to, I hate like that we would need to get it under control as if it's such a bad thing, because that rage has helped you navigate the world. It helped keep you safe when you felt unsafe. It helped you defend your inner child. This is like your inner firefighter if you follow the internal family systems therapy. But they're saying in order to tame the beast, it's important to make new connections. Have some tea with some friends. Find and build a circle, a community of people who can understand you and really sympathize with you. The 3 of Cups, we'll look at that now. I'll show you the card again. 3 of Cups. Cambodia, Hindu mythology. The 3 of Cups represents camaraderie and a good time. The Apsara are celestial beings of the sky known for dancing, partying, and fornication. The joyous group oversees fertility rites, the performing arts, and fortunes of gambling. Yeah, I mean, celebrating, going out with friends. I don't know if indulgence is the right thing here, but I definitely think there's like a throw caution to the wind and have a little bit of fun is important. Go out with your friends, go and try to forget a little bit or try to place your mind onto something else. There was something in here that fornication. For those of you who, I'm trying to be delicate with this, have had your personal physical space violated. I'm not really sure what I can say on YouTube. I'm not going to say that word, but you'll know what I'm talking about if this is you. Yoni massage, you can look that up. That is very helpful in a therapeutic setting, or doing it with yourself or with a partner or someone you trust. But there's something around taking the bull by the horns and becoming the one in power versus the victim. It's important if you do have a partner and you want to rebuild trust with somebody, that you're honest and open with them about what happened to you when you're ready, not before you're ready, but when you're ready, and that you can work together to heal that part of your body, because you might be holding on to a lot of the trauma in your root chakra and in the body parts that are around there. So working, and again, look up yoni massage and do that sort of massaging with your, I'm not sure exactly what I can say on YouTube, but working with a partner, I'll just put it down below, yoni massage, and then you'll know what I mean. If you feel called to Google it, look it up. There are practitioners, therapists who can work with you with that. I wouldn't necessarily go to a tantra therapist. But some of them also practice yoni massages. It definitely needs to be a very therapeutic setting, though. But you can work with this with a partner, or someone that you really trust, or you can start with yourself. And be prepared for a lot of emotional release. But again, I'm going to leave that up to you to Google it, though. It can be very empowering, and that's why a lot of people will go to, you know, a dominatrix or something, just to help them heal from, or to help them heal from some things that they might have experienced in childhood or from the past, where they can now be the one in power versus the one who was overpowered. And I'm going to leave it at that there. Okay, and then the Fool card. Mermaids. Oh, the Little Mermaid. Denmark, Danish fairy tale. The fool rests on the pinnacle of a decision. She is ready to dive out of her subconscious and into the physical world, to transform from an animal into a human. She is carefree and excited by a new life regardless of warnings. Beginnings, possibilities, impulsiveness, innocence, and a free spirit. To transform from an animal into a human. When we are in our trauma mind, our trauma body mind, our body can be living in the past or operating from our animal brain. This is very symbolic of somebody who's in the midst of transforming or healing, resolving their trauma and being reborn into a new life, a new sense of self. And it's not that you and who you are ever disappeared, it just became something different because trauma severs our connection with our higher self. And we begin to operate and live compulsively from this wounded state of being. And in this moment, with intention, with passion, with overpowering that victim mentality, and I hate that even. It's like when someone says victim mentality, it makes it sound like that's you intentionally are living in this victim state of victimhood, and that it's your fault that you're comfortable there. That's what it implies, and I dislike it so much. It bothers me because to a trauma survivor, it's not your choice. It was never your choice to be a victim. Never, ever, ever, ever. You did not manifest it. Perhaps your soul chose certain experiences in this life so that you can work through it and overcome it and become something different and remember who you actually are. But there is a moment where you have a choice, and that moment is right now. You have a choice to be somebody different, even though you went through these terrible, horrible, horrific things. You have a choice, and you have power now. You can choose now. Now is different than back then. And it takes time to reprogram the body so the body responds differently and doesn't get triggered the way that it has been for so long. But you do have a choice now that you're learning a little bit about yourself and what you went through and how it impacted you, right? But that you didn't have a choice then. That's not your fault. You didn't manifest it and put it into your vortex. That's so ridiculous. Everybody has free will, including perpetrators, right? You didn't bring it on yourself. It's ridiculous. I'm so angry at that. But you do have a choice now on how you move forward to become empowered and to connect with the right people now, to encircle yourself with the right people who are going to help you heal, who are going to attune to you, who are going to see you, who are going to believe in you. Those people are the right people. And we can talk a little, maybe another video I'll talk about like your circle and surrounding yourself with those right people. But that's really important right now for you, is to empower yourself and find the right people who are going, for this moment in your journey, who are going to help you transform, who are going to see you and believe in you and walk with you through this, and are going to help to take your mind off of things and to bring you joy and to go out with you and have fun with you, and not condemn you for all the things that have happened in the past, but really spark joy in you. It could be family. I'm getting more friends though, but it could be family as well, right? And then a new beginning is at hand with the Fool card here. Overcoming that place where you've been of operating from your limbic system, from your animal brain, from just being very reactive and your fight or flight system, fight, flight, fawn, into a new perspective on having the ability to feel empowered and be in control of yourself and your life. Now that you know more, now that you understand a little bit more, now that you've allowed yourself the time and space to grieve and nurture yourself. Right. I'll pull a couple cards just to clarify any other messages, Spirit, for pile number 2. What do they need to know about the next 7 days, this week ahead on their spiritual journey, healing journey? I feel like with the Fool at the end here, this is a process that you're undertaking right now. And I won't say that this is just the next week, the next 7 days, but I do think that by the end of this week, after maybe you've had some fun with your friends, with the right people, connected with them, that you're going to have a little bit of a different outlook. Yeah, and that's like a confirmation there. Just like a heavy plump of cards on the table. I'm not going to take those ones though. Any other advice for pile number 2 regarding the next week of their healing journey? Yeah, this is a different perspective. So we have the Seven of Swords, or 7 of Voices in this deck, the Muse Tarot. The Muse of Voices, so the King of Swords, and the Hanged Muse at the bottom of the deck, so the Hanged Man, the Hanged Muse at the bottom of the deck here. Again, with the different perspective coming up towards the end, seeing things a little bit clearly, seeing things differently. With the 7 of Voices at the beginning here, I think that something was revealed to you. With the 3 of Swords, it just feels like something recently happened. Maybe you become aware of something that happened in the past, or something that's been going on. Something that maybe your mind was hiding from you. Everybody's story is a little bit different, but there's definitely betrayal and pain and loss and suffering and but internalizing that pain. What somebody else did to you, you're taking it on yourself as if it's your fault, but it's not your fault. It's definitely not your fault. They had a choice. Oh my God, I feel so upset at this person, at this situation for you. Okay, and then we have the 8 of Materials and the Temperance. They don't want me to get too much into what happened on this video. They're very much saying, work on mastering your own well-being. Focus on nurturing yourself in all these different ways. Self-empowerment, reclaiming your power, your passion, in many different ways. For a lot of you, it could be, I'm just seeing a lot of different things. I don't know how deep I can go on YouTube, but I do see a lot of it being taking control of something, and in an intimate setting, just being the one in control after not being in control. Finding your joy, but really mastering your serenity. That is your main focus in different ways, right? That, and then joy, spending time with friends, having this new outlook, again with the Fool and the Hanged Man that was at the bottom of the deck. Let me see the King of Swords here. Can you clarify this King of Swords, Spirit, please? Okay. The 5 of Emotions, or 5 of Cups, and the Death card. So this is clarity on a situation or on yourself, on who you are, yes, your situation or on who you are, yourself, that what happened, moving from a state of loss and despair and suffering and pain and feeling like what happened to me, identifying with that situation of what happened to you. You are not that situation. You are not your trauma. It is a part of you, but it's not who you are. And so re-clarifying and seeing things a little bit more clearly in terms of who you want to be, your inner power. And I think that this has a lot to do as well with communication, communicating what happened to you, talking about it, taking your power back through voice, through owning your story as well with the death card, transforming through owning your story, taking your power back. The moth is about transformation through darkness, through dark times. Whereas a butterfly is a little more lighthearted, right? But the moth is transforming through darkness, through tragedy, through pain, and coming out the other side with so much clarity about your strength, of what you're able to survive. Just feeling so much power within, and you do have a lot of power. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have the Empress at the bottom of the deck just now. You are worthy. You are so worthy of so much more. Love, abundance, connections, friendships, like being really taken care of. I think that your spirit guides want you to know that you are being taken care of right now. And even though you might not have a lot of faith in your spirit guides or in the spirit world or in God or the universe, and I get it. It's okay to be angry at God. It's okay to be angry at the universe. You have that right. And then again, they just, with the Three of Swords that is coming out again and the Justice card, there could be reclaiming your power. For some of you, this could mean a legal proceeding, undertaking the legal proceeding that you need to do in order to get retribution, is that the right word? Or vindication, or, right? Create balance. There's definitely, I think justice is coming for this person who did hurt you, or the situation that hurt you, probably a person, but we don't want to go into that. But justice, they are going to get their karmic, oh my gosh, karmic debt. And then the Justice card, karmic debt, justice. This person, the universe is taking care of. Justice will be had, right? Balance will be restored. Release it. I don't know, besides maybe if you needed to report something to the authorities, or I know that that can be re-traumatizing and you don't necessarily have to do it that way, but however this situation comes about, justice will be restored. Karma will be why did they say replayed? Replayed? This doesn't make any sense. Maybe they're saying what was done will be redone. So this person will face justice in some way or another for what happened to you. And it will help you to restore, it'll help restore your faith in the divine, is what they're saying. But that's later, that's going to take some time, but it will offer you a little bit of emotional release. Like, I think that when that justice does get played out, and I believe that you will be in the front row, they're saying, like you'll be able to see it, you'll know of it, you'll hear of it, but you will feel vindicated. And I think that in that moment there's going to be this like release of energy from you, and it might be very destabilizing. So they're saying when that does happen, to focus on your own well-being, taking time out for yourself, to nurture yourself however you need that to happen. Oh, so this card, the Temperance card, is usually also traditionally has an angel on it with the Eight of Pentacles here. So I think that this is also saying that the divine is working on it. in restoring balance to the situation, and this person or this situation, these people are getting what they deserve, because the universe is always striving for balance, and they are working on it, and to also leave it to them, and just for you to focus on your own joy, reclaiming your own power. And it might take a full moon cycle, or for some it might take a lot longer, but don't worry too much about that, because karmic debt is being repaid to this person. Whether or not you're actually going to see it, you might, I have a feeling that you will hear about it. I think that they want me to kind of give you a little bit of, not information, but Fool again, Nine of Emotions. Yeah, just focusing on your own happiness, your own joy, and your own fulfillment, and letting go of the rest. So we have the Nine of Cups, Eight of Emotions, and the Fool card again. There's a new beginning at hand, and to just sort of walk away from all of that drama. I don't think that you should go out and seek vengeance, right? It's saying don't go out and seek vengeance. Focus on your own well-being. Will they hear about the karma? The Empress. Will they hear about this? Like, you'll know. I think that you will. Okay, so we have the Page of Voices, Queen of Voices. There's a lot of talk, a lot of people talking here. The Four of Wands. Someone will tell you, there's some gossip going on. You will hear about it through the grapevine, I'm hearing. I think that there's a lot of people around, but I think that you will hear about the karmic debt that's being repaid to this person through the grapevine or through somebody. It could be an air sign, with the Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Page of Swords as well. Like, you could hear about it maybe through online. You might get an email or a message of some kind, but you will hear about it. And it's going to help you to feel a little relief. There's relief coming for you. That justice was done, you know? That's a really heavy message, pile number 2. I want to send you so much love and a big hug. Thank you so much for being here. If this resonated, give the video a thumbs up, or just like the video. Like the video. It helps me spread this message and this healing and these conversations with more people. Comment if you feel called to. Obviously, I don't want you to go and you don't need to put your story out there. You can email me if you want to just share your story if you feel called to, but no pressure at all. But if you want someone to just hear your side, I'm here for you. And I've been through a lot of these things too, and I know how isolating and lonely it can be, and you're not alone. You're not alone. And karma does have a way of working itself out. I promise you. I promise. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Sending you so much love and a big hug. I appreciate you, and you are worthy of so much more, and a new beginning is at hand. Just try to focus on empowering yourself and finding a little bit of joy right now. That's the most important thing for the next week, okay? Hugs, hugs. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye. Hey, pile number 3. Oh my goodness, pile number 1, or the energies are so different for all 3 piles. And I want to just, oh man, it's just, pile number 2 is a very heavy reading. You chose pile number 3, Spirit of the East. This card is all about clarity. Clarity of thoughts, clarity of discernment, clarity of direction, clear thinking, clear vision, even for the future. With the feathers here, it's almost as if there is this clarity that's coming in the next 7 days for you. Clarity of thought, And then the figure is also holding this crystal ball as well. It's buoyant though, or it's floating, defying gravity almost, which is interesting with the feathers floating in the air. I'm very curious about that. There's something about defying gravity. You might, this is a message for some, not for all. You might see something supernatural, something that defies gravity, something that doesn't make any sense to the eye, a blip in the matrix, if you want to say, or call it. Something that makes you question your reality or what you thought you knew. And it's in a very supernatural sense. It's something being very connected to the 5D. Might be in a meditation. You might see feathers floating down from the heavens with no, bird in sight, which is a message from your angel guides that you are protected. They're watching over you as well. There's a lot of blue here, so communication is very important. I have a feeling that this is a lot that has a lot to do about communicating. Like my throat is getting all sticky, like like a frog in my throat. There's something that you want to say, but you haven't been able to say it, or you're afraid to say it, or you're afraid to ask. I'm going to get into tarot cards, but your angels are guiding you towards this thing. They're supporting you as you gain the courage to say this, whatever it is that you want to say, that something that you're afraid to say. It could be also that this ball, this crystal ball, it's almost, it's saying defying gravity, but also as if this ball is floating into the palm of this person's hand, as if it was dropped into the person's hand. I was thinking also, when you throw a ball up in the air, up and down, tossing the ball up in the air. But it's more as if you're receiving something. So maybe you've been afraid to ask for something and almost hesitant to receive it, as if the spirit world is bringing you this thing that you've asked for or that you've been afraid to ask for, and you're like, oh, is it really mine? Can I really accept this? I don't know. The message can be different for everybody. There's a lot of hesitancy though here. A lot of lightness, and I just feel like a lot of light and airy energy, but at the same time a lot of hesitancy. Maybe hesitancy about, they're saying about making your feelings known, hesitancy about making your intentions known, maybe to somebody else or vice versa. Gaining perspective, gaining clarity on something. For sure. Okay, so what I've done with the other two piles, we're using the Tarot of the Divine tarot deck. And each card has a folklore attached to it, or a story about a deity, a fairy tale. And so what I've done with the other, I'm pulling 3 cards or so for the first few cards and reading. It's only a short little blurb. I don't usually like to read from the book, but reading that little short thing. So if you want to go and Google it and learn more about the story, you can. Okay, so the Lovers popped out. Oh. I think that's Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast. Okay. There's a lot of masculine energy here for me that I'm picking up on. I feel like you feel like the beast in that card. And you're very apprehensive to open up your heart. Yeah. Okay. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords for pile number 2, and now pile number 3, or pile number 3, and the Six of Cups and the Hierophant. So this is a love message, I feel, or about a relationship. I think it's mostly love, but because we're talking about what you need to know on your healing journey in the next 7 days, I think that your pain right now is around a love situation of some kind. Opening your heart up to love, gaining clarity on what it is that you want. And it's like the universe is handing you this connection, this person, this love, this beautiful connection with somebody. And you are extremely afraid of accepting it. Can I accept it? Is it right for me? What if I get hurt? And it's like it's being handed to you, but you don't trust it. It's almost like when you look at these feathers here, it's like they keep showing me this vision of this bird being hit by a plane, which is kind of crazy, but it's like this bird was hit by a plane, didn't see it coming, was really injured, and has been like shocked and nursing its wounds and just sort of like really afraid of flying again. That's the energy that they're showing me. And the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck is about commitment. A higher level commitment, Taurus energy, somebody who's very beautiful, very physically attractive. I won't read about the bottom card, but it's Taurus energy. I didn't go through the signs in the last. There's Gemini, air signs, water signs. Yeah, there's just this feeling like really timid and afraid to accept this gift from the universe. I think you have clarity about what it is that you do want, and maybe that this person that you're thinking of right now, or that's involved in this situation for you, it's like you have clarity, but you haven't spoken your truth. You have clarity, but you haven't told this person how you feel. You're afraid of how they might take it. They might be afraid of you, maybe with the, I haven't even read, I'm pretty sure that's Beauty and the Beast, this Lover's card. You know what, let's go through what the deck says about, or the book says about these cards, and then I'll get into channeling or the story, the message that's coming through. So we have the Lovers. Look at his eye. His eye is bloodshot red. He's red, this beast, which, you know, symbolizes the root chakra. Feeling very insecure, feeling worried about security, worrying about your own emotions, maybe being afraid of your own emotions, this inner rage, feeling as though nobody will love you because you have been this beast for so long. You've been conditioned to be this person through your experiences. And then this figure comes along and just like, you're like shocked. Like, oh my God, how could you possibly see me or love me? How could she ever love me? I'm a hideous beast, like Beauty and the Beast. So let's see, Lovers. Number 6. So 2 6s. 3. Okay. The Beauty and the Beast, China, Danish fairy tale. The Lover's card represents romance, opposites attracting, the duality and balance of carnality, physicality, and fire versus spirituality, emotions, and water. The pair emphasize the importance of communication, and herald an important crossroads. Love, harmony, trust, a leap of faith, choice. So you're at a crossroads with this person. Do you tell them how you feel and embrace this for what it is? Or do you move on, let it go, and go after something else? I do think that this is somebody that you've been with before. Maybe you're not together right now. So we have the Queen of Swords next. So let me, okay, 11:11 I just saw on the timer just as I was holding this up. Wow, 11:11. Queen of Swords. Now the Queen of Swords energy is very firm in their boundaries. And I'm getting the masculine energy as if you are the beast in this, and you can take it as it resonates and flip the roles if you're the feminine watching this. So that maybe you can understand where this counterpart or this person, and it could be counterpart, this could be a divine counterpart, it could be a soulmate with the Six of Cups. Oops. Flip. Oh my God, it just flew out of my hands. I think that symbolizes, you could so easily lose this, right? Or let it go. And you're at a crossroads definitely now with this relationship with this person. What was I talking about? Oh, like this was somebody from the past with the Queen of Swords in the middle, which is sort of signifying where you're at with this person right now. Maybe they saw you and really, with the Lovers here and the Beauty and the Beast, you know how she comes to the castle and he captures her and they learn to be friends, and then she had to leave to go save her father and do what she needed to do before she could realize how much she actually loved the Beast, and then they come back together, right? In a different union, different type of energy where they actually can express their love for each other wholeheartedly. And she loves him no matter what, like for who he is, whether he's a beast or a prince or whatever, not knowing that he's actually going to transform into this beautiful prince, but she had to accept him for who he is. So there could be a message about that, right? Where she needs to learn to accept the beast for who he is, but he also needs to embrace his softer side. He needs to learn to admit his feelings, and to tame that fierce energy inside of him, that anger, right? He has to learn to do that. So it's not just, one person doing all the work. There's reciprocity where both of you are having to do the work on yourselves and admit your faults, admit your feelings to each other openly and honestly, in a very important conversation with the Spirit of the East card here. Clarity, honesty, conversations. Where am I at? Oh, the Lovers. Queen of Swords. Queen. Okay. China. Arabic folk tale. Did I read this already? No. Maybe. The Queen of Swords is a fierce and exacting force. Turandot does not forget betrayal, so her judgments, while fair and principled, seem brutal and cold. Still, she is open-minded and intelligent and can be charming and witty when she chooses. Protection, meaningful criticism, tough love, skepticism, intelligence. So whoever the beauty, I think, is in this relationship, however you resonate in this reading, the beast, I think what I'm seeing is the beast showed his beastly behavior and actions, and it really scared Belle, or Beauty, into having to be the Queen of Swords, having to put her foot down, having to be strong and fierce and set boundaries, and trying to be fair, but also trying to protect her own self, her energy. Very wise, maybe even very cutthroat in the things that she has said. It might seem like she is unforgiving, but with the Lovers card here and the Six of Cups at the end, maybe she was very forgiving and accepted a lot of behaviors for a long time, but then realized, I really need to put my own needs first, the way that Belle does in Beauty and the Beast. And she sort of pleads with the Beast, and it's like, I have to go. I have to save my father. I have to be with him. I have other important things that I need to take care of. I can't just be here in this with you. It's not healthy. It's not right for me or for you, right? It could be a very codependent relationship, that maybe you guys were in a very codependent relationship in the past, and she or you both came to realize that this wasn't a healthy union at that point, and she had to cut ties or do something else, focus on something else in order to take care of her own needs while you had to go and take care of yourself. And again, I'm talking to you as the beast here. I'm talking to the beast because that's the energy that I'm feeling of the people watching this, but again, take it as it resonates. If you are the Queen of Swords energy watching this, the feminine energy watching this, you had to do what you had to do, and it was really important for you to take your power back and stand up for yourself and make that clear decision for the both of you, and what behavior you were willing to accept and what you were no longer willing to accept. But also, this message overall is making me feel of the heart. What's the saying? Distance or absence makes the heart grow fonder. So maybe the distance, the separation made you realize, both of you realize how important you are to each other, and you're willing to sacrifice this relationship for the greater good of the other person, which is very honorable, I think. You know, timing is everything, Spirit wants me to say as well. And then we have the Six of Cups, which is a beautiful card. It could talk about reunion. It can talk about friendship. It can talk about someone coming back from the past. It can talk about joy, finding balance in the relationship, even if it is just as friends. Really, this reciprocity or feeling of understanding, giving a balance between giving and taking, receiving and offering. Okay, Six of Cups. What does the book say about the Six of Cups? Denmark, Danish fairy tale, the Snow Queen. The Six of Cups evokes a nostalgia for sweeter times. Kai and Gerda, are best friends as children, but when Kai is struck with depression, he leaves with the Snow Queen. Through many adventures, Gerda saves him, but by then, innocence is gone. Nostalgia, old friends, simple joys, sharing childhood. Could be a past life connection as well, or coming to understand that you do have this soul connection. When Kai is struck with depression, he leaves with the Snow Queen, which kind of makes me think of the Queen of Swords energy here. The Snow Queen. So he leaves the Snow Queen. He leaves, something takes him away, right? The beast or whatever. Somebody has to go in a different way. And it leaves the other figure sort of lost and like, okay, I don't know what to do. But there's this coming home. There's this sense of, again, I think I had this in my last reading that I did, but it's this sense of home. Or coming home to each other. In a different way, though, the energy is different. It's like an energy of surrender. Take it as it resonates. Surrender, kind of like accepting that you're the same but different. You know, maybe you knew each other in the distant past and you're coming back together after having experienced a lot of different things in life, and so the energy is shifted. Your awareness of yourself and the world has shifted. Your awareness and respect for one another is different. I do think that there's a lot of respect here for each other, right? Maybe if you are the beast energy type person, the masculine energy here, you know, when your beauty stepped into the Queen of Swords energy and had to sort of be firm and cut you off, and cut ties or set boundaries or something, cut that cord of codependency, and you had to kind of go off and experience other things, that you have this newfound respect for her, for the feminine energy here that you didn't have before. Maybe you have struggled with respecting women because of, you know, things from your own experiences in childhood or past relationships. But now there's this, it's not necessarily this complete return to innocence. As you can see in this card, it's a beautiful, like, coming back home, sharing, giving a gift, you know, admitting where you went wrong maybe, but there's still this like mountain in the back, the snow-covered mountain. Like there's still that, it feels like it's maybe thawing and melting and warming up a little bit, but that's still there, right? That pain, that coldness might still be there for a little while. But your spirit guides, with the crow in the background, the crow kind of watching over this union, there is this sort of the spirit world, your angels, your ancestors, are watching over this connection. They do approve. Like, I think that family, like, there's this sort of watchful eye over this connection. Maybe you feel as though people don't approve, but I think they do. They understand this connection. They see it. I think other people do see the love that you two share for each other, but there is this watchful eye over it. And take that as it resonates, because I think you've both been really hurt, and the people who care about both of you and the spirits who care about both of you, you know, don't want to see you guys hurt again. All right, let's get some clarifying cards. Okay, so this is a message. I'm looking at the next week of your healing journey with this. So right now you might be in the Queen of Swords energy, right? Maybe you ran away, or she had to leave, or something happened with the Lover's card and the Beauty and the Beast story. And right now, because the Queen of Swords is in the middle of this reading, you're kind of like, and then with the Spirit of the East, feeling as though you're not really sure if you can reach out, not really sure if this person will be receptive to what you have to say, a little timid. It's like Spirit is dropping this in your lap, but you have to take action. You have to kind of break down this barrier because of the actions that you took before, the energy that you presented to your feminine energy type. You know, she's had to step into this Queen of Swords energy, and it is sort of up to you, as in this Six of Cups, the masculine energy bringing the feminine energy flowers. You have to make the first move. You have to soften your approach and show that, you know, through everything that you've been through, you understand her, and that you are willing to show her your softer side, and open your heart. But that's something that you have to do. She can't do that for you, and she's sort of waiting or is going to move on, right? Like, it's not up to her to do that for you. You have to do that and show her. And in the meantime, all she can do, or if you're the feminine energy and if you're the beauty in the story watching this, you know, it's important for you to stick to your boundaries. You have to stay firm in what it is that you're looking for, and what it is that you will accept, the treatment of yourself that you'll accept. Because that's important. That's a part of your journey. So right now there is a bit of coldness between the two of you, and feeling uncertain, feeling unsure about what to do next, where to go from here. The Muse of Materials, or the King of Pentacles. Five of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. There's this like internal conflict though. Maybe with the Muse of Materials, it's like, am I good enough? Fighting to be good enough. There could be some issues around security, right? Whether that's physically in the connection, whether that's your situation in life, financial situation. The Fool, and it's not necessarily upside down, but it's not upright either. It's kind of like, it could go either way. Like I was saying before, I'm going to put that over there. It could go either way, right? And your approach, your energy really matters. Whoa. Okay, so they want me to, the Queen of Swords. She came up in reverse though. And that's just under the other Queen of Swords. I think that the Queen of Swords, whoever this person is, like, she did what she thought was right, and is also, whether that's you or the other person in this situation, she's having a hard time letting go of that boundary. Maybe being a little too cutthroat, a little too rigid. And I think that comes from her own wounding, right? I'm not necessarily reading for that energy in this deck, but I think that Spirit wants you, if you're the beast, to hear, to understand that her own wounds from her past are what is making her more forceful and standing. Like I just saw a 555 on the timer, or 2555. So there's definitely a shift that's going to happen, or is happening, or about to happen. oh, sorry, in this relationship. But I think that there's this need for awareness of where you both are coming from. Like there's this need, like, to understand that maybe the beast feels as though he's not enough, or feels like he doesn't have enough to offer, or he's working on that, working on himself in order to present differently to the beauty in this story. And the Queen of Swords is coming from this place of being really wounded and really hurt from the actions of the beast and maybe other things that happened in her life. But then at the end here, or under the Six of Cups, we have the Eight of Wands, which is things really moving quickly, moving forward, a conversation, a really positive. I think it's with the Six of Materials or Six of Coins at the bottom of the deck, it's a very positive conversation, a very balanced conversation of give and take, of understanding, where balance is being restored to this connection. And, oh yeah, like I think both of you, with the Three of Swords at the bottom here, both of you have been hurt a lot. Like there's a lot of wounding, a lot of pain, a lot of betrayal, not just, I think, together, but in a lot of relationships and experiences that you both had in your lives. And I think, okay, so I was talking about the Eight of Inspiration, or the Eight of Wands, in this conversation, and then the Knight of Emotions came up, so the Knight of Cups came up with the Four of Voices, so the Four of Swords. Maybe after some time apart, where you both sort of took time to nourish yourselves, to rest, to refocus, regain your strength, some time apart here. So it might not happen this week. It could, but I think this is maybe not necessarily this week. But there's definitely this like conversation, bringing a message of love or an offer. And then you have like the Queen of Cups, the Six of Cups here with the masculine energy bringing flowers or something, like a gesture. There is this gesture, I think, that's needed or coming after some time apart, after some time to really refocus on yourself. Just like the story of Beauty and the Beast, where they have to kind of fall apart or separate in order to realize how much they cared, how important it was, you know, this relationship is, this whatever it is for you guys. What's this Eight of Inspiration, Eight of Wands, Spirit? A conversation. Oh, the Chariot. And then the Six of Inspiration at the bottom of the deck, Six of Wands. And the Chariot, Cancer energy. We didn't get too much into we have earth energy, but a lot of air energy here. Water. Some fire energy. Not too much though. The initiative. Somebody has to take the initiative to break the ice, I think. To break the silence, the distance. And I don't think it's going to be the Queen of Swords person. I think it needs to be the beast energy or the masculine energy here that needs to sort of break the ice. Because I have a feeling that the Queen is has her hackles up, has her defenses up because of the things that happened. And she's just not willing to kind of let that guard down without that gesture. There needs to be this honest conversation, and the beast energy in this situation, like for you, that's how I'm reading it. But I just feel as though you have to come to terms with what it is that you actually want, to believe that you're worthy of it, to have clarity on this situation, whatever that is for you, and to be the one to take the next step, to make that gesture. To soften the energy between the two of you. Like you have to be clear about what your intentions are, what you want, what you see, what you feel. You have to open your heart to this person with the Knight of Cups energy here, a Knight of Emotions, and that's what's going to help to soften her energy or your counterpart's energy here. I do think it's a counterpart connection, but soulmates for sure. Yeah, the Five of Voices can talk about, I always look at this particular card as an olive branch because you have the olives there, and it's like after a battle, after having your walls up, after being in your ego state, this is like offering an olive branch to this other person and saying, look, I know that I messed up, or I know that I was wrong, and even explaining why. I think that she would be receptive to it. But again, you have to be in touch with your own mind, your own emotions. You have to have clarity about yourself and where you were coming from, and what it is that you actually want, because the Queen of Swords is firm. Like, she knows what she wants. She's very clear. She knows exactly what she wants in a relationship. Now, maybe while you guys are apart, like, she knows what she wants from you, but you need to be receptive to her needs and what it is that she's asking of you. If you're too much in your wounded energy or in your ego, you're not going to be receptive, and you're going to be very defensive. Everything that she asks of you or says, you're going to take it extremely personally, when she's just saying, look, this is what I need, and I can't compromise because I know my worth now. And I'm not willing to sacrifice myself for somebody who's not sure, or who's not clear, or who doesn't have a vision and a plan and whatever. And again, I don't really blame the Beast here, because the Beast has gone through a lot, right? In the story of Beauty and the Beast that we know, the Beast, we don't really learn, at least in the fairy tale that I've seen, the Disney version, we don't really see why the Beast was always in his ego and was so demanding and mean to people, and to that old lady sorceress who turned him into a beast. Like, we don't know why he became that way. His own entitlement, perhaps, right? The way he was raised, his own father wounding, or whatever, whatever happened there. But we do know that he was in his ego, right? And he treated people terribly, but also probably felt extremely hollow and empty in himself. He filled his life with, material things, and that mattered more to him than being a kind and generous and loving person, and being open and honest and genuine with other people. And he really had to struggle through his own bestiality to learn what relationships are actually based on: love and reciprocity and understanding, and open and honest communication. Like, there's so much that Beauty teaches him in the story about himself and what it means to be connected to another person, and to be vulnerable and to be intimate with that person. Intimacy is not just about, sex. It's about depth and of understanding, and being vulnerable and being open and being honest, and showing all of yourself, your true self, and in the darkness and the light. Okay, so let's just look. I mean, yes, it's saying definitely take care of yourself. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Make a decision, I think it's saying. Believe that it will be successful, but you do have to be clear. You do have to make a decision. But yes, focus on yourself. And a conversation does need to be had if you want this relationship to move in a different direction. Then your heart needs to open up. You have to be open and receptive to this conversation, to this clarity. And then we have the Sun card. So whatever happens at the end of the day, the Sun is the divine masculine energy. It is also positivity, like, be positive. The divine is saying, just, focus on the outcome that you want, be positive. And I think that this is going to go better than you think it will. I think that you might be stuck in your fear state, and this is actually going to be a much more positive conversation than you think it's going to be. This isn't meant to be a love reading. It's meant to be more about healing, like, what do you need to know on your healing journey. That I think that you are on the right track in terms of getting to know yourself, getting to know your own mind, being clear about what it is that you want in your life, and knowing that, like, you were in your beastly state for a long time for a reason, but it's now time to learn to be different, right? Other people, if it's not like just one specific love connection, but if it's more general, other people might have been responding to you in this Queen of Swords energy by really cutting you off, cutting you down, being, putting up walls with you because of who you were in your beast state. And that's sort of what they've come to expect from you. And when you show them that side, they can quickly kind of shut you down because it hurts them, because it triggers them. And they want to see a change with the Eight of Inspiration or Eight of Wands there. They really want to see a different side of you, and they need to know that that's actually true, and it's going to be consistent with the Chariot card here. It needs to be consistent in order for that person or these people to trust you again. If you do resonate, and if you are the other people or person in this, the feminine energy, the Queen of Swords energy, you do, it's okay to wait with the Four of Swords here. It is okay to wait until you see that, until you're sure, until you see that that person is being consistent and is willing to change, or has changed and put in the work. Right. Okay, so I'll end it here, but 10 of Wands just talks about being really overwhelmed, or even like at the precipice of finally achieving what it is that you want after doing a lot of the hard work. And then the Ace of Emotions. So I think that for you, if you do resonate as the beast in this story, you know, you've really done the work on yourself. Maybe you're still going through it. Maybe you still feel like there's a lot of work to do and you're kind of in the middle of it. But I think Spirit is also saying in this week to focus on opening up your heart, that at this point is more important, because the work is always going to be there, right? There's always things to do. There's always healing that needs to be done as you're moving through this journey, especially as a trauma survivor. Especially having gone through all of the stuff that you've gone through, that doesn't ever go away, right? It softens, you resolve it, you heal, and you have a different perspective on it. And there's 222 on the clock right now. So relationships, learning about how to connect, how to be in relationships, how to be receptive and open in relationships, being vulnerable, being intimate, all of that is what you're really learning right now. Maybe you weren't modeled that as a child, and so this is a really important part of your journey right now. But I would say that understanding that the work is never done, and you might be missing an opportunity to open your heart and have somebody who really appreciates you and loves you in your life, if you don't open your heart, if you keep closed, or you keep focusing on the work that you need to do instead of focusing on the people or this person who really loves you, and like what could happen if you guys work together moving forward, right? It's not just like, I feel like you're in this very isolated egoic state with the Five of Swords here. Like, I need to do this all alone, this lone wolf sort of energy. Meanwhile, there's this connection that can really elevate your life and your experience in this life and move forward in a different way instead of in this drudgery, right? But this, I think, really comes down to clarity in your mind about what it is that you want, and being open to having this honest conversation and laying it all on the line, wearing your heart on your sleeve, and, you know, not necessarily being afraid of the outcome, but just knowing and feeling really good that you said it, that you put yourself out there, that you've been working on healing yourself so much that you're finally able to speak your truth to somebody, that you're finally able to say like how you feel without holding back and seeing what happens, like what's possible. Yeah, it's okay. So the the High Priestess came up in reverse, and you don't know what's going to happen in this relationship. You're not meant to know. You don't know what their reaction is going to be or what they'll say. But the important thing is to move forward even though you don't know, right? To open up your heart, to speak your truth, trusting that you do have this connection with this person. You're divinely guided to each other. You have this soul connection. It's very important in this journey right now. But you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what they're going to say or how they're going to react. But for you, there's this like burden that will be lifted once you're able to communicate from your heart, knowing your heart, trusting your heart, being receptive to the downloads or the information that you're receiving from your higher self, from spirit world, and then being open to the possibilities, right? Right now, I feel like you're very closed, feeling though you're not worthy, but you don't know what they're thinking and what they want, right? you don't know what will happen if you actually open your heart, if you actually speak from your heart, if you actually say what you want instead of what you think they want to hear or what you think needs to happen. That's not going to get you where you want to go in this relationship or another, right? But there is this softness that's coming. So just one more piece of advice, like with this Queen of Swords, what should they do? Is there an action that pile number? I mean, they're definitely saying take care and take your time. There's no, I don't think there's a need to rush, but there is this sort of idea that that person's not going to wait forever. It's very elusive. Like you could miss the boat, but you have to kind of take that risk. That's up to you. The divine can't make that decision for you, and this person can't make that decision for you. And if you are the Queen of Swords energy in this situation, you can't make that decision for this person. You can't force them to do anything and open up to you. That's you've done everything you can do, and it's up to them now. It's just, that's it. But, you know, make sure that you know what you want and don't settle for anything less. Like, that's okay. So I asked, what was I asking? Is there any advice about what you can do? Like, what should you do this week? And then the Knight of Inspiration, which is the Knight of Wands, which is like, go for it. Just do it. Just do it already. Just go for it. And then see what happens. You know, express your passion. Express how you feel. Go for it. Show this person that you're real. That you have this fire energy for them, that you have this passion for them, that you really want them, right? Like, it's amazing how a Queen of Swords energy can maybe soften if she knows the truth about how you feel, if she like feels it, if she can trust it, if she really gets that that you're like for real, right? Instead of when you hold back, then they hold back. And then things just kind of fall apart. So Spirit is saying, just go for it, express it, go after what it is that you want without fear. One more card for advice in terms of what pile number 3 should do here. You have to make the effort. Yeah, you have to make the effort. 6 of Voices, so 6 of Swords. Which is movement. It could be that you guys are at a distance from each other. You actually have to physically move and go to them, or go towards them. And then, you know, there is this like needing to move and needing to take action with the Knight of Inspiration as well. It's like that is an action card. You have to take the first step. You have to take action. You have to show them. You have to express this feeling to them. You have to actually show up in a different way, in the way that you want to. I think that you really want to be that way, and maybe you've been thinking about it a lot, but you haven't actually done the work. You haven't made the effort to show this person how much they mean to you. You haven't done that. And so Spirit is really pushing you to just go for it, make the first move, take the steps, move towards them. And then you'll never know what will come of it. But what they're saying with the Ace of Pentacles here is that there's a really positive outcome. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised at the receptivity that this person has to you, and the conversation, how well it's going to go. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I do think that you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the outcome of this conversation about this situation. But you do have to make the move, and that's up to you. They're not going to do that if they're in their Queen of Swords reversed energy. Like, they're just like, why I've done everything already. I've told you what I want. Oh, that's my alarm. I have to go get my baby girl from school. Oh my gosh. Okay, Alexa, off. That's my cue, and good thing, because I was over finished anyways. Sending you so much love, pile number 3. Stay strong. No matter what you've done in the past, right? If you atone for those mistakes, you've done the work on yourself, done the healing work, right? Anything is possible with the right person, I think. You are worthy of love. If you've done the work and you're ready and willing to show up in a different way. You're clear on what it is that you want. You're willing to put in the work with this person. You're willing to listen to them. Then anything is possible. And I think some of you might be afraid of yourselves, of who you were, what you've done in your beast state. You know, and I don't think that you should say like, oh, that never happened, and kind of pretend like it didn't exist, because it was a part of your journey. And it's an important part of your journey because it symbolizes growth, because that's where you were and this is where you are. So admitting that, yeah, I did that. I was a terrible person, or I was a beast. I thought you were a terrible person, but like, I was a beast. I was beastly, and I hurt people that I loved deeply. And I'm willing to do the work to change how they perceive me. But you have to put in that work, right? For people to, they can't just brush it under the rug. Oh, you know, that was then, that was in the past. Well, no, to the people that you hurt, that's very much still a part of their perceptions, because they don't know the new you. They don't know what you've done, right? All they can go on is based on what they've experienced with you in the past and what they see right now. But if you're still kind of like up in the air, unclear, you know, not open, not wearing your heart on your sleeve, not being honest, not being, not coming forward with everything, you know, like they still feel this air of deception, even if it's not that you're intentionally deceiving them, but like you're holding back. People can feel that energy, so they still feel as though they can't trust you. So that's still very real in their hearts and their minds. Even though you've done the work, they can't see that you've done the work. They can't see that in front of them, and they don't know if they can trust you. And that's up to you to show them. And so people can, and they do change. I really believe that. I believe that relationships can heal, and people can, you know, it can be completely different. But both people have to be willing to show up in a different energy, to be open and honest. And if this person is expressing their fears and anger and in this way, I think that if you were the beast in this situation, that it's important for you to validate their emotions and also accept that this isn't necessarily going to be easy, but it is worth it if it is worth it for you. So you have to decide that. And I think that this week is, the next week, they're saying like, yes, take your time, make sure that you're focusing and taking care of yourself, and that's really important. But if you don't want to miss the boat, that you do have to take action, and that there is this like Ace of Pentacles energy at the end of all of this for you, and that things will be successful, more successful than I think that you can ever imagine. But like, there is this sort of equalization, I guess, that needs to happen. The equalizer. Sorry. Okay. And with that, pile number 3, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And if you found this reading helpful, give it a thumbs up and comment below. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing, and let the algorithm know that these messages are important for a lot of people, to help them heal and align and become and live their best self, their best lives. All right, thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.